Conquering the High Sierra. Mount Whitney prep amidst thunderstorms and snowfields. The Sierra Nevada's high country reveals its fury, snowfields, thunderstorms, and the road to Mount Whitney. Here's the brutal truth. High-altitude hiking isn't for the faint of heart, especially when the trail transforms into a battleground against nature and your own gear. Wet boots, buzzing mosquitoes, and the relentless creep of snowfields underfoot. Welcome to life above 10,000 feet. Our group just tasted the first dose of Alpine reality, and let's put it bluntly, it's been a wild ride. Day 55, marmots, mayhem, and altitude adjustments. Last night's warmth let us sleep lightly under open skies, but dawn brought chaos, scrambling to dig hand sanitizer from deep within bear-proof containers. That 10-minute search felt like an hour. Breakfast overlooks gave false security. The real challenge became cramming 6 days of provisions into those blasted cans. Then we hit the trail. The landscape? Transformative. No desert scrub here. We crunched through ancient snow patches in shady forests where marmots now rule. Quiscomin, cinder snakes traded places with rodents. But triumph turned to turmoil when Veery caught up mid-snack. Timo and Leia had bailed for an emergency tent during mid-meal mosquito meltdowns. Grot, why did the humans fail while the Swiss struggled? Turned out Leia's sock had a new hole, thanks Mouse, and their water retrieval snafu left them sprinting. Lunch beside a creek became a race against monolithic storm clouds. The stars aligned, winds shifted, our ridge climb stayed dry. But just to taunt us, those dried lake beds suddenly looked cinematic. We pushed further than planned, settling at a new camp with a challenging water hull down. Set up by 5 p.m., left just enough time to stage the dinner rock with 70 measured paces. Bear country rules are battlefield strict. Day 56, stormy wake-up calls, snow navigations, and a glacial reboot. Some slept through it. Others heart stopped scrambling to add tent flies. Patrick, ever the daredevil, dove outside in the dead of night to rescue his pack from a tree. For us, pure sleep awaits those who dare to ignore 3 minutes of midnight precipitation. 6 a.m. alarms brought new challenges. Damp boots, white patches expanded like landmines. Sudden trail loss, navigating document orange snow monuments. Then, Leia, spotting her became our lifeline to Chicken Lake's Thunder Rubble lunch. Ah, the temptation. Sun broke long enough for a group plunge into tundra-cold lake water. Bone-chilling, spirit-lifting. The Swiss waited it out in shelters. We hit steep ice at inclines as rain nipped at our heels. Filtering camp water from questionable snow runoff? Gross necessity. But then came the wall. Vertical snowbank scaling, world-shrinking perspective on progress. Camp arrived early, tents assembled in record time. Swift delayed, rain-soaked. Setting plan for Whitney summit, settled over staggered dinners. Current elevation, 11,000 feet. Pro tip, sleep becomes delicious at these steps. Day 57, river crossing, Swiss disappears, and Whitney base camp prep. No alarm this morning. Easy 11-mile trek to Whitney base became relief mixed with dread. My bear can backpack experiment failed. Hard edges dug grooves into my spine. First challenge, river crossing. A fallen tree became our bridge, but packing issues halted progress. Leia arrived sans Timo. Panic set in. Garmin pings later. Miscommunication unraveled. Timo shopped solo. Reunion achieved. The group ascended steeply, met with yet more storm brew. Retreat underway. Second river crossing became boot-soaking necessity. Shelter found, ice axes stashed. Lunch delayed until skies cleared. Then waited to dry shoes, nap, poke at bear visitor, snug in tent. Evening tradition birthed. Dinner conversations, day's topic, books preferred through thin air linkage. Sacks prepped, Kansei's last chivalrous sleep before Whitney's wake-up call. Bold controversy alert. When is stormy hiking safe versus foolish? The eternal debate. Should hikers prioritize speed over weather risks? Our team rolled the dice, climbing wet ice slopes as thunder loomed. Others bottled up in tents. Which approach saves lives? Comment below. Where do you draw the weather safety line? Final hook. Tomorrow brings the challenge, but at what cost? Bear cans loaded, muscles primed. Watches set. Come dawn, the ultimate test begins. 22-mile round trip to Mount Whitney summit. Will altitude sickness strike? Will creek crossings claim another sock? The clock ticks. What would you do if green trails met into end? Conquering the Sierra, my 900-mile PCT journey. The Sierra Nevada range has always held a special place in my heart, and hiking the Pacific Crest Trail, the PCT, through this majestic landscape reinforced that love. Having completed other long-distance hikes before, I approached the PCT with a deeper appreciation for the challenges and rewards it offers. Previous treks through scorching deserts, torrential downpours, and swarms of mosquitoes had prepared me mentally and physically for the PCT's unique blend of beauty and hardship. My PCT journey began with a memorable birthday celebration near Kennedy Meadows. Trail angels, including the legendary Yogi, treated us to a feast and shared stories of their own adventures. The following day, I embarked on the High Sierra section, starting with the awe-inspiring Mount Whitney. Hiking to the summit before sunrise was a chilly but breathtaking experience, made even more special by the warmth of my fellow hikers as we waited for the sun to rise. The High Sierra section of the PCT is known for its challenging mountain passes, and I traversed 7 of them in just under 10 days. Each pass offered its own unique challenges and rewards, from the surreal landscape of Forester Pass to the steep descent of Mather Pass. I even embraced the local hiker tradition of swimming in Alpine lakes, a refreshing break from the strenuous hiking. A town stop in Bishop provided much-needed resupply and a chance to reconnect with friends, including Lost, who unfortunately had to leave the trail. Despite the bittersweet moment, we made the most of our time together, enjoying local cuisine and creating lasting memories. Continuing on, I made a pit stop at Vermilion Valley Resort, VVR, to resupply and recharge before tackling the remaining miles to Mammoth Lakes. The support from trail angels and the camaraderie among hikers made even the toughest days on the trail worthwhile. As I reflect on my PCT journey through the Sierra Nevada, I'm reminded of the importance of taking things slow and savoring every moment. The Sierra has a way of challenging and inspiring you all at once, and I feel incredibly grateful to have experienced its raw beauty. This trail has taught me that the true essence of long-distance hiking lies not just in reaching the destination, but in the journey itself and the connections made along the way. From desert to Sierra, my PCT adventure. The Sierra Nevada almost broke me before I even got there. Here's why. Let me be blunt. Nature doesn't care about your plans. I learned this the hard way, after leaving Tehachapi, freshly rested and buzzing with excitement to conquer the Sierra Nevada within a week. But the desert had one last cruel trick up its sleeve, a lesson in humility delivered by 50+ miles per hour winds. The wind that nearly won. Tehachapi's infamous wind farms, they're there for a reason. 3 miles into our hike, my hiking partner Deborah and I discovered why. Gusts slammed into us like freight trains, turning simple switchbacks into life or focus battles. Here's where it gets wild. Multiple hikers retreated to town, but we stubbornly pushed forward. Big mistake? Maybe. By mile 4, we were crawling on hands and knees across a wind-ravaged saddle, packs morphing into deadly sails. I've never felt genuine fear on trail until that moment, the kind that makes you question every life choice. But here's the kicker. We'd found salvation in a cluster of juniper trees, where fellow hiker Skybird was nursing an injured back. Together with Trek blogger Delight, we formed a wind-battered huddle, forced to camp prematurely. Controversial take. Was pushing forward bravery or recklessness? I'll let you debate that in the comments. The plights of survival. That aborted day cost me dearly. Now I had to crush 120+ miles to Walker Pass in 4 days instead of 5. Cue endless water hauls, 18+ pounds at times, hallucination-inducing heat, and a landscape that teased us with fleeting pine forests before reverting to sun-scorched desert. And this is the part most people miss. Those iconic Joshua trees, only the elderly giants offered patchy shade, a cruel joke at midday. Water caches saved our lives, but here's the controversy. Should hikers rely on these unofficial lifelines? Some purists argue they enable poor planning. I say they're the only reason half of us survive Section F. Fight me. Sierra's false dawn. At Walker Pass, my partner joined me, a decision that seemed romantic until reality did. Our easy warm-up days, Grueling slogs through 90-degree Fahrenheit, climbs with zero shade and mosquito swarms. Even the Kern River's icy embrace felt like a taunt. You're still in the desert, sweetheart. But then, Kennedy Meadows, the PCT's emotional finish line for desert survivors. Picture this: a rusty cowbell clanging, hikers cheering, and the sweetest gas station soda of your life. Yet here's the twist: that iconic general store? We missed hot meals by an hour. Still, watching the sandlot under the stars with the trail family, pure magic. The real controversy no one talks about. Let's get raw. Should chronically ill hikers like me, shout out to my rebellious immune system, attempt through hikes? Some say it's irresponsible. I say living in fear is worse than any flare-up. Let's argue about it over pancakes at the next trail town. Final thought: what's harder, battling nature's fury or society's expectations of who belongs in the wilderness? Sound off below. A note on affiliates. Yes, we use affiliate links. No, we don't apologize. Every protein bar you buy via our links keeps this site running. Want the full scoop? Check our ethics page, https://thetrek.co. About the author: Michaela Echolde, nurse, California nurse, autoimmune warrior, and professional dirtbag. Conquered Vermont's Long Trail, 1,000 miles of VAT, and New York's NPT. Currently outrunning the next her medical chart on the PVT. Follow the chaos.